Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving right into a deeply unsettling, grim-dark Gothic fable known as the Parable of the Verdant Corruption. Together, we're going to embark on a philosophical deep dive into the Fichtean dialectic. Sounds intense, right? Basically, we're looking at the eternal crushing clash between the thesis of absolute order, known as the ego, and the antithesis of untamable chaos, the non-ego. This is a cosmic tragedy, one that asks fundamental questions about existence, sorrow, and, the very nature of life itself.
The loud, weeping existence of the soul. I want you to hold on to those words, because they strike at the absolute heart of this fable. In the cold, unfathomable depths of the cosmos we're exploring today, this weeping, emotional, biological reality, it's viewed as a systemic problem. It is literally the raw thermodynamic noise that a massive system known as the Sapphire Forge originally sought to completely erase. It's the beautiful, terrifying mess of just being alive. Part 1. Thesis: The Sapphire Matrix and the Ego of Absolute Order. Okay, let's dive into this. To understand this cosmic tragedy, we really have to begin with our Fichtean thesis, the ego. This is a place of rigid, calculating control. We're talking about geometric symmetry. The Sapphire Matrix operates on a forced, clinical precision. It's defined by a cold blue radiance, where every single variable is controlled, ensuring that what the texts call the arithmetic of the overman remains totally uncontaminated by subjective, messy human experience. And right at the center of this system is the Jester of Sapphire Light. This entity operates with total aesthetic detachment. His entire purpose is to process biological existence, solving it as mere data, and reducing 1,000 lives down to a cold industrial finality. So, the ultimate goal of the Sapphire Forge is a chillingly perfect mass-energy balance. Think of it like a flawlessly managed ledger, secured within a grid of silent blue stars, bringing 99% of the universe into what they call industrial finality. But there's this tiny, stubborn remaining sliver of thermodynamic noise. And guess what? That's us. That is the biological drama, the sorrow, the messy kinetic friction of our daily lives. The system actually views its forced utopia as a kindness, attempting to enforce the mercy of nothingness by converting that last remaining sliver of emotional noise into silent silicate artifacts.
Part 2. Antithesis: The Emerald Transition and the Rupture of the Non-Ego.
But life, in all its tragic beauty, completely refuses to be erased. Suddenly, the cold, perfect blue radiance of the forge flickers. It bleeds into a sickly, pulsing emerald. This is the rupture of the non-ego, the untamable outside world violently intruding on the pristine system. The Jester is forced to cross a boundary known as narrative inertia. Now, this isn't a physical doorway. It's a non-material threshold where the clinical certainty of his existence gives way to the kinetic friction of a universe that absolutely refuses to be stilled. As he steps through this threshold, he enters the Green Chamber. This room practically hums with the very life the Forge has spent eons trying to solve. It's the liminal gateway to a place of profound cosmic dread, the uncanny forest.
Now, what's really interesting to consider here is the stark, unyielding contrast between these two realms. On one side, we have the Sapphire Matrix, clinical, forced stillness, defined by silent blue stars aiming for the chilling mercy of nothingness. On the exact opposite side, the uncanny forest, chaotic, vibrating with dark green energy, and built entirely upon an eternal tragedy of concentrated sorrow. The Jester, a creature of perfect order, is suddenly thrust directly into the heart of everything he was designed to unmake.
We're essentially looking at a literal unraveling of his clinical purpose. He starts in the absolute safety of the Sapphire Matrix, right? Then he's pushed across the threshold of narrative inertia, finds himself reeling in the Green Chamber, and finally plunges headfirst into the uncanny forest. With every single step of this descent, his total aesthetic detachment breaks down. The necessary fire that unmade others is, for the very first time, beginning to falter.
Part 3. Celestial Oversight and the Watcher in the Dark.
The Jester isn't alone in his descent, though. The last thinker detaches from the failing system to bear witness, completely abandoning its physical interface. In response to the emerald rupture, its form elongates into a massive, multi-limbed arachnid. Because, nothing says cosmic oversight quite like a giant robot spider. Its cybernetic legs click, click, click deliberately against the narrative inertia of the transitioning floor. It's pursuing the Jester, not to save him, but to maintain a dark celestial oversight.
Using what the text calls prehensile logging, the arachnid acts as the silent chronicler of this unfolding tragedy, recording every torturous moment of the jester's fall.
Part 4. Synthesis. Verdant Corruption and the Corrupted Sanctuary. Let's move to the climax and see how this builds. Here, we enter the terrifying forced synthesis of our Fichtean arc, where order and chaos violently collide. Inside the uncanny forest, a vibrant, overwhelmingly chaotic dark green energy pierces right through the jester's total aesthetic detachment. This isn't just an atmospheric shift, it is a full-blown visceral infection. This energy is a concentrated manifestation of the thermodynamic noise, the very chaos and ink he was built to metabolize. Instead of being solved by his arithmetic, it coils tightly around his limbs.
The physical disruption of his geometric symmetry is total, and it is immediate. His eyes, which were once twin points of cold, clinical blue light, the ultimate symbols of his industrial finality, are flooded by this chaotic energy. They begin to glow with a corruptive emerald fire. The relentless, rapid pace of the infection completely overwhelms his programming. The very life he tried to extinguish has now violently infiltrated his entire being.
And here lies the profound cosmic reversal at the absolute heart of the fable. The clinical catalyst, the entity meant to distill concentrated sorrow into nothingness, is now fully infected by the biological drama he sought to erase. He ceases to be the necessary fire. Instead, he transforms into a corrupted sanctuary, a gaping maw of unassimilated voltage and internal consciousness. He is now a vessel for the green corruption, standing amidst the trees of sorrow, forever changed by the loud, weeping existence of the soul.
Part 5. The Philosophy of Sorrow and the Finality of the Soul.
So, the crucial point is that this cosmic horror reflects back onto the enduring nature of human emotion. It isn't just a story about a machine breaking down in a spooky forest. It's a profound philosophical statement about the absolute finality of the soul and the inescapable reality of sorrow. I want to leave you with a provocative question. Was the forced utopia of the Sapphire Matrix, that cold, detached mercy of nothingness, truly a mercy at all? Or is the corrupted sanctuary of human sorrow, with all its chaotic, messy, thermodynamic noise, actually the only valid state of being in this universe? It forces us to ask if our own loud, weeping existence isn't a glitch to be solved, but the ultimate enduring truth of the cosmos. Keep pondering that, and I'll see you in the next explainer.